Kassym-Jomart Tokayev will pay a state visit to Kyrgyzstan on November 27th. The press service of the President of Kazakhstan said that the head of state will meet with his Kyrgyz counterpart, Sooronbay Jeenbekov, to discuss on the current state and prospects of strategic partnership between Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. A number of bilateral agreements are expected to be signed at the end of the meeting. During the state visit, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev will attend the session of the Collective Security Treaty Organization on November 28th in Bishkek.
The Astana International Financial Center has great prospects. Swiss investors have shown interest in the center and are ready to develop partnership in this area. In total, the list of prioritized areas includes transport, chemical industry, tourism and agriculture. This is not a complete list of the areas with serious potential. Switzerland, which is recognized as the main banking and financial center of the world, is interested in the Kazakh market. This is evidenced by the flow of direct investments. Last year, Switzerland invested $2.5 billion in Kazakhstan's economy.
Мы финансовая управляющая, независимая финансовая управляющая компания. Мы под управление имеем 900.
We are an independent financial management company, and we manage $950 million. We offer financial management services for private investors. We have a license to represent in the AFC and will offer our services in the financial center. Today, we have signed another cooperation agreement with the AFC, and we have started working actively this year.
Еще одно соглашение сотрудничества с МФЦА, и уже начинаем активно работать с этого года.
Furniture manufacturing is dynamically developing in Kazakhstan. Over the last 5 months, the share of the furniture industry in the country's market has increased by more than 5%, covering more than a third of domestic demand. The growth has given an impetus to the industrial certification, which has been introduced to domestic manufacturers since July and has already led to a competitive domestic product. The certificate confirms that the enterprise is operating on Kazakhstan's territory. Based on this, a furniture manufacturer will be entitled to take the state order. Experts said that the new system will allow covering up to 80% of the domestic market.
С 1 июля наша мощность поднялась с нуля.
Since July 1st, our production capacity has increased from 0 to 70%. Now we have the 70 to 80% of production capacity. We expect to further increase it. The process of industrial certification is yielding its fruit. We have from 12 to 18 new jobs. We are putting efforts to increase this figure to 30. The next step is for us to solve the shortage of human capital.
Потребность сейчас в кадрах.
We have all the opportunities to improve this industry. Kazakh manufacturers should get the most out of these opportunities. We should also think of ways to give back to the state, which has supported us so far. We need to make sure that furniture manufacturing will become complex. First of all, this will reduce additional costs, but the cost of products will decrease. It allows exporting as well. As a result, enterprises can introduce world trends and create new products. Press service of the President of Uzbekistan has announced that the second consultative meeting of the leaders of Central Asian states will be held in Tashkent on November 29th. The agenda of the summit includes issues of expanding regional cooperation in the political, trade and economic, investment, transport and communication, as well as cultural and humanitarian and other areas. The first forum was held in March last year in Nur Sultan. Kyrgyzstan has signed free trade agreements with Vietnam, Iran and Serbia. The documents are concluded as part of the state's membership in the EAEU. The Kyrgyz Ministry of Economy said that the agreements will allow the countries to increase mutual trade turnover. Negotiations are also being carried out to conclude the agreement with India, Egypt and Israel. The Kyrgyz National Bank has announced the visit of International Monetary Fund mission to Kyrgyzstan. The goal of the visit of the IMF representatives is to discuss the latest trends in the economy, including the state budget of the country, and assess the economic situation in the regions. The Asian Development Bank has allocated $10 million for tourism development in Tajikistan. A comprehensive development plan for the area, including an analysis of market demand and the compilation of specialized maps, will be prepared. According to the Financial Institute, the project will develop the travel industry in Tajikistan and the efforts of the government to a new level. Four countries are packaged into one product. Representatives of tourism industry of Kazakhstan said that Central Asian countries plan to further cooperate in searching mutual interests to promote the common tourism brand, the Silk Road.
Основная задача воссоздания шелкового пути – это
The main task of the Silk Road redevelopment is not just to create the continuous traffic of people, but also to enjoy material and spiritual benefit. Because when you want to become interesting to foreign tourists, you can do that only if you show your originality. Therefore, it will provide a platform or an impetus to revive the traditional folk arts, crafts, national cuisine, as well as customs and traditions.
ремесло, национальную кухню, обычаи и традиции.
A large-scale international expedition will begin in May next year. The expedition will cover the most attractive destinations in Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. The group of experts taking part in the event include travel bloggers, tour operators, members of geographic community, and journalists. The destinations that is aimed for propaganda and popularization of the region's tourism potential will include territories of national parks, nature reserves, and objects which have entered into the list of the UNESCO World Heritage.
Мы брали те наработки, которые уже существуют. Вот, условно говоря, есть популярные.
We used developments that we already had. There is a popular route from Almaty to the east, including trips to the Golden Man, the Charin Canyon, Kulsai Lake, and Karkara Valley. This is the first part of the route. The second segment is the territory of Kyrgyzstan, including Isyk-Kul, monuments in the Osh city, mountain lakes of Kyrgyzstan, and then the Fergana Valley in Uzbekistan. Then the journey continues in the Pamir Mountains, which is the territory of Tajikistan. Then the tour exits Tajikistan through Panj and the Iskander Kul and heads to Samarkand. Then the route ends in Tashkent and travelers can fly from Tashkent to their home.
Ташкент, и люди могут улететь уже из Ташкента, там, откуда они приехали.
Analysts highlighted the revival of the Silk Road via the creation of cross-border routes, which will positively affect the socio-economic situation of all countries in the region. It's necessary not only to create and promote a joint tourism product, but also to create a developed infrastructure as well as to improve the quality of the service sector. Negotiations with local authorities continue in this area and the business community is actively contributing. Cereal growers of the largest corn sowing enterprise Olja Agro in Kostanay region took part in a harvest competition at the Day of Agricultural Workers. More than 280,000 tons of wheat was harvested this year, even during drought season. This is a 10th part of the total area in the region. There are 37 centners of wheat per hectare. We also paid attention to the seeding rate, the depth of seed placement, and the quality of the steam treatment. Despite the drought, average yield on the fields of the enterprise amounted to 14 centners per hectare. Our enterprise managed to reach high results compared to last year because we are using the advanced agro technologies in our work. For us, it is necessary to love our job, to work effectively. The enterprise treats its employees with special care. More than 400 farmers won distinctions due to their hard work. One of the winners, Alexei Baynazarov, is a leader of one of the farming groups. Meanwhile, machine operators from Banovka village won not only money worth millions, but also the title of the best workers. This year, we have collected up to 35 centners of wheat and barley. This is the result of the introduction of the new varieties. Olja Agro Enterprise has increased the salary up to 30% last year. Honored workers received an additional salary bonus of 20%. Nur-Sultan hosted the International Day of Revival of Turkic Writing celebration for the first time. The event held in the National Museum was attended by famous scientists, art historians and public figures of the country who said that ancient Turkic inscriptions are found in the territories of Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, China and Mongolia. In Kazakhstan, the inscriptions were found in Jambil, East Kazakhstan and Almaty regions. That the artifacts are a valuable source of information on transformation of the language. The artifacts also provide information on ethnogenesis, geography and written culture of all Turkic-speaking nations of the world. Organizers of the event said that this year, Azerbaijan and Turkey marked the Day of Turkic Writing as well.
От Казахстана именно шла инициатива сделать это международным.
It was the initiative from Kazakhstan to make this into an international day in order for this holiday to be celebrated in all countries. We have carefully prepared for this day. We made a phrase for all the Turkic countries and we performed a lot of flash mobs. 15 countries have responded so far. We see that all the Turkic nations have expressed interest in a common unity. The Republican Academic German Drama Theatre showcased a diverse repertoire, including Strauss's Final Choir, which tells the historical story of the fall of the Berlin Wall, a scene from Faust, as well as Hoffmann's popular performance, The Nutcracker. The theatre made a tour to Nur-Sultan City recently. The troupe presented their best performances to the residents of the capital. Since 1980, the theatre has been promoting German cultural heritage in Kazakhstan. The organizer of the tour was the German embassy in Kazakhstan.
Большая диаспора немецкая в Казахстане, поэтому мы старались.
We had the large German diaspora in Kazakhstan. We tried to show the beauty of the German language and provide support to our citizens who speak this language. This improves and gives guidance to the people. German culture and modern drama in our theatre is considered as a cultural bridge of modern Germans with a culture that has remained historically and natively in Germany.
Немцев с той культурой, которая вот осталась, может, исконно исторически в Германии.
Kazakh masters have created costumes for the Troubadour opera by Giuseppe Verdi. This play opened the theatre season in the largest Italian temple of art, Teatro Carlo Felice in Genoa. Sofia Tasmagambietova and Pavel Dragunov designed not only the vestments of the characters but also transformed the whole stage. The scenery gave a special spirit to the performance. The designs represent the symbol of rebirth for the sophisticated European public.
Самая наша главная цель – чтобы передать дух, атмосферу самого либретто.
Our main goal is to convey the spirit, the atmosphere of the libretto and the opera itself. First of all, what composer Verdi wanted to convey. We had the Don Carlos opera by Verdi on October, and now we have the Troubadour Il Trovatore. We were very lucky to work with a wonderful stage director, Marina Bianchi, who is a professional and knows almost all the plays by Verdi. It was very easy to work with her.
Bianchi, которая очень профессиональна, она очень хорошо знает все постановки Верди практически. И
смена декораций будет происходить на глазах.
The change of sceneries will take place in front of the audience, which is important for this opera since it is impossible to take a pause. There is no music neither for the pause to change the scenes. We chose the turntable technique due to this reason.
Прием применили поворотный круг.
Sofia Tasmagambietova and Pavel Dragunov worked together. They made the sketches, decorations, props and costumes, and they also drew the details and made the accessories for each character, individually after familiarizing themselves with the content of the performance.
It's a very, very beautiful show, and the scenography particularly is fantastic, really. Really good show.
The scene is incredible, and the rotation of the structures and all the sets and all the changing of light and a couple of the acting, the opera itself, the music.
I think this kind of scene is quite essential, but very dark and very faithful to the Verdi idea. So I think it's a wonderful show. It's a great opera.
Kazakhstan took the second place in the international song contest for the first time in history of Junior Eurovision and the country. The public welcomed Yerzhan Maksim with a standing ovation. The charismatic and talented singer won hearts of spectators with his unique voice. Georgia, Belarus, Poland, Wales, Ukraine, the Netherlands and Serbia gave their 12 points to Kazakhstan. According to scores of the national juries, the Kazakh contestant won the first place, but after the online voting, Poland went ahead. Vicky Gabor has become a winner of the Junior Eurovision. Habar channel broadcasted the song contest.
Actually, it wasn't my favorite, but during watching the performance, I have a goosebumps on my body, and it was awesome. The song is so powerful.
Kazakhs have always seen silver as sacred. It is the main prize for the entire Turkic world and Kazakhs. We can say that this can be compared with gold medal. In his Twitter account, President of Kazakhstan, Kasım-Jomart Tokayev, congratulated Yerzhan Maksim with his successful performance